The Healthy Bees project is a large collaborative research program that aims to secure pollination within our agricultural ecosystems now and into the future. So the state of pollinators around the world is super important. Because they do supply us with a lot of our fruits, vegetables and nuts, it is really important to know how they are within those ecosystems, and what we've seen overseas is that pollinators are declining. Here in Australia, we don't have much research about that at the moment, so that's what we're trying to investigate. We actually assess pollination at the farm scale and the landscape scale. So what we're looking at is not only just what's going on the crop, but super important to actually assess how floral resources within that wider matrix are supporting pollinators as well. On farm, we will conduct surveys on the crop to assess what types of pollinators are visiting those and how efficient they are. And then we're also looking at how we can support those pollinators and if there's overlap on other flowering resources. So that will just be on weedy species within the farm and even native vegetation surrounding the farm. What we are finding, which is really fantastic, is that we're actually getting a whole heap of native pollinators. And those native pollinators can be things like the common blowfly, wasps, native bees, stingless bees in particular, and even butterflies. This project's trying to look at what exactly we have in terms of our pollinators on farm, and then also looking at how we can secure that into the future. And part of that is looking at the impact of climate change. Temperatures are rising and increased CO2 levels, and so we've actually got a large research facility down at the Hawkesbury Institute for the Environment, the Face facility, and that's measuring the impacts of elevated CO2 on our native floral resources, our eucalypt species, and we're also looking at the effects of increased temperature within our glasshouse facilities. And these are ongoing projects, but so far they're looking fantastic. Pollinators within the farm matrix actually, just like humans, require floral resources year-round, so they need food. And that food is in the form of pollen and nectar. And so at the landscape scale within the crop, it flowers for a very short time of the year. So it's a very bountiful floral resource, but for a really short time. So what we're doing is actually putting out floral enhancements at the farm scale to give pollinators food year-round. So when we've gone out into those agricultural areas across Australia, every time we've spoken to the orchard growers or the farmers, they've been super excited about understanding and knowing the importance of native pollinators and whether they've actually got them on their farms. So there's a lot that can be gained from this research collaboration.
I'm always happy to have research people on the property regardless of what they're doing, but for me the Healthy Bees project is really important to give us an understanding of all of the issues around pollination. And while we look at Italian bees as being important, there are lots and lots of other bees and insects which they're identifying which have a role in pollination. Our business wouldn't exist unless there was something here to pollinate the blossom and cause the apples to form. What we would like to get out of this is an understanding of all of the pollinators there are that live in the area and ways of encouraging them to stay here.
An industry-wide approach to this research is absolutely fantastic and it's really vital. So the work and the cooperation by Bayer in particular has really allowed us to have a large reach into different agro-ecosystems and communicate our findings to not only growers but the broader public. The fact that industry is supporting this kind of research and coming together shows that this research is very important.